God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house.
I kind of wanted two full-strength sides out against each other because obviously what happened in the league. I wanted a chance of retribution, which I never thought.
If it was just the fact that it was Alisson wasn't in, or if it was other things.
But that was never going to happen anyway. We were never going to play a full-strength side, and obviously you've been struck with COVID, as has quite a lot of people.
Apparently it's a worse outbreak than the one that's going on at Newcastle and Fulham.
Oh, that's mental. It's a surprise the game's still going ahead then, but...
Apparently this game's going ahead, but the game against Tottenham is questionable at the moment.
Right, okay, that's interesting. I don't know why this one's allowed, but that one isn't, but, you know.
As well as, like, COVID outbreaks at the moment, there was a huge amount of cases in the EFL. It was like 114 or something.
That's mental.
One being the Brentford manager, who have obviously just played Spurs.
Yeah. So that's why. Okay. But yeah, I think what will be interesting is to do a top 11 between... Liverpool and Villa, and based on current form in this season, see who would make it into the team and who wouldn't.
And manager? Or...
Sorry, 11 and manager, yeah.
Yeah, let's be manager.
Right, so do we start off with manager, or do we do that last?
Let's work up to manager, because I feel like we might have a few arguments.
Right, well...
I'm thinking of a few positions we might have an argument about.
Oh, I reckon so. We'll start off with goalkeeper. I'll let you say your piece about Martinez first.
Well, is it even questionable at the moment to put Martinez in?
I'll probably have to concede this one. I'll give you an early one. I think I'll have to say that
clean sheets in the league at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think I'll have to say that I'd put Emmy in as well on current form, and purely because I think he's one of the signings of the season, one of the steals of the season. You got him like I don't know why Arsenal sold him. I really don't know why Arsenal sold him. Obviously, they must have made some promise to Leno that he'd get game time or whatever, but like.
He won the FA Cup with them.
Yeah.
He was in tears winning the FA Cup with them. He'd been at Arsenal for 10 years.
Yeah. And
I did not know that.
He did all that work from last season when Leno was injured, and then they bin him off, which I think was quite disrespectful. But you know, he's playing for you. He's playing week in, week out. He's performing outstandingly. So yeah, I'll probably have to agree with you that Emmy makes it to the goalkeeper spot.
Over current form, yes.
Yes.
Over maybe longevity, maybe not.
Yeah. No. I completely agree with you on that. I'm not saying it's Alisson's fault because most of the time it's just a shoddy team performance, but based on current performances,
a couple of games as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's not.
Current performances and clean sheets and stuff. I'll have to say I'd pick Emmy. But and that's based on current performance. But like as you said, longevity, I'd say Alisson, but. Currently, I'd say Martinez gets in there for me.
Yeah. So, should we go left back?
Left back, I'm going to have to put a shout out for Robertson. I'm going to have to fight Robertson's corner. I think he's absolutely quality.
I think it has got to be Robertson. Target has done some bits this season, but...
No, I do rate Matt Target, but I think Robertson...
He's still not a top 6 team. He's not a top 5, top 6 club player.
Yeah.
If you think about it realistically, he might have better stats at the moment, but is that down to him as a player or down to the way he's being coached and is like being managed and way the team are playing?
Yeah, no, I fully agree. But Robbo for me, like he's got it there defensively the majority of the time, and obviously his play going forward, his delivery into the box, etc. Like his work rate as well, second to none. So yeah, Robbo's got to make it in there for me.
So at centre backs,
well, I can't say.
Are we doing your say they were all fit? Like, say, including likes of Van Dijk and Gomez, or are we doing the fact that
we're probably going to have to base it? No, we said that we do it on this season so far. So, I mean, and Van Dijk's not been there for the whole season, and neither's Gomez really. So, if we're doing it on current season, then we'll have to take into account players being injured.
The only one Villa player that I am willing to push forward is Konsa.
Yeah, no, I'd back Ezra Konsa, to be fair. I'd say that the centre-back partnership has to be Fabinho and Konsa, based on current season.
I wouldn't put Mings forward. While he's good and I enjoy him and he's got good leadership, his aggression worries me.
Like the red card the other day, like you could see that coming a mile off.
Yeah. And in the game against Chelsea, you could kind of then tell that there wasn't anyone there, like, supporting the back line.
Yeah.
Like, shouting to, like, what to do. He's always there and he's always very vocal. But that's the only thing. Yes, he makes some good last-ditch tackles, but he also makes me nervous when the ball's in the box and he's around.
Yeah.
That he's not going to do something stupid and sloppy and score an own goal, or just forget what team he plays for. And
yeah, no, I agree. So I'd say Konsa and Fabinho. Fabinho, obviously, when we first signed him, we signed him as a defensive midfielder, but he's slotted back into that centre back position. I'm really comfortable whenever he plays. Like, you know, he's class. He's made a few good off the line clearances, not just in the Prem, but in other competitions as well, like Champions League. So. Yeah, I'll have to say that Fab and Konsa will have to be the two picks from this season alone, because obviously we've not seen Van Dijk, he got injured, and we've not seen Gomez really. So
I feel like we're going to have a couple of disagreements over this one.
Yeah, we're right back. Obviously, I'd love to back my boy Trent, but we were having a discussion about this the other day with Callum Louis as well, about how I, in my opinion, feel that he's a top-class player, however, he's playing in the wrong position, in the wrong role. Like, he's not there as he should be defensively for a top-class player. Like, he hasn't really got the defensive sort of acumen in his play to warrant him being an out-and-out right-back. I reckon he'd suit like a right wing-back / right winger, right midfield sort of position a bit more. Because his playmaking ability, like his work rates, like just on the ball, normally he's fantastic, but like defensively, he's not good enough for a top 6 title winning side. Obviously, he played there last season. We won the title, but I think that was the people he had around him. Because we've seen now we haven't got Van Dijk and Gomez next to him. It's fallen apart a little bit. Like,
what was the stat the other day? We spoke about it. He lost the ball more than anyone on the Southampton-Liverpool game.
Yeah. And
he was subbed off after, 60 minutes?
Yeah. He I don't know what was wrong with him. I really don't know what was wrong with him.
34, 35 times?
Yeah, I think like 30, 36 or 38, if I recall correctly. But like it's like, and we thought that couldn't have just been in that one game, but it was.
Well, that was for the season, but no. It was.
He had a shocker. Yeah. He had a rotter, and
I think Pietro is like a right winger, doing like a Gareth Bale, who obviously started as left back, now right winger.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
He's done the opposite. Matty Cash started as a right winger.
Yeah.
So he's kind of. Yeah, I don't know how to word this. I was going to say he's kind of as good as Trent going forward, but that's not right.
No.
He's good going forward.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But he's also good defensively.
Yeah, and as a right back, you've got to have both.
And he can take a few cracking shots.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not really going to argue with you on this one, because as the position of right back, I think Matty Cash does a better job in general fitting that position going forward and the defensive side of things.
Like, say you had a nightmare situation like you're having at centre back at right wing. Say Salah's injured, Minamino's injured, Fakiri's injured.
Yeah.
Trent would be able to slot in there.
Yeah,
no problem.
Yeah, you bash him at right wing and he'd do a job. I think he would do solid. So yeah, I completely agree. So maybe obviously it's difficult with the players we have in the team at the minute for him to be able to explore playing other positions with the likes of Salah and like the other guys you mentioned. But yeah, I think if he was given the opportunity, he would absolutely shine in a position like that. But he does do a job at right back. But I think he struggles when he hasn't got the confidence of having the likes of Van Dijk and Gomez beside him, and that's been shown in the last few games.
So midfield, both Villa and Liverpool kind of play on the 4-3-3.
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to start off and give my captain a shout out, Hendo. I think he's a class leader on the pitch. It definitely shows, in the games recently. Obviously, there's been no crowds, etc. And if you watch the game without the inputted crowd noise they put over the top of it, you hear Hendo commanding the team, shouting at players, encouraging them. Just leading, being the leader that he is. And we perform so well under him. And yeah, I think he's class on the pitch as well. He played a centre back role the other day. Strange position for him.
But all right.
Yeah, exactly.
He did all right.
But I think you have to have him on the pitch.
Yeah. So I'm not sure here because is this going to be up again? So we've got Douglas Luiz or John McGinn that play a similar role as centre mids. And none of them are really, you can't really compare Hendo to Luiz, can you? Or Hendo to McGinn.
No. Not really.
I think I would rather have Hendo in like a team over McGinn or Luiz.
Well, do any of the Villa midfield make it into the top 11 over the Liverpool sort of counterparts?
Yes.
Who?
Grealish.
Okay, yes, I knew you were going to say that, and I completely agree. I would take Grealish in Liverpool's team in a heartbeat. I think he's quality.
So we've been off Luiz and McGinn. Even though they are good, they are not to the champions' standards.
Yeah, okay, so we'll say Hendo's in, Grealish is in, because there's no argument about Grealish. Grealish he's mustard.
He can play either left wing but I know Mane's left wing, so he has been playing more cam as well at the moment. So that's why.
And I've just now got to choose who else out of the Liverpool midfield that I'd
because there's no depending. Who else have you got? Who's your other options?
Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
Ox, but he's been injured and only really just come back.
Yeah. Who's been playing the most? Has it been Wijnaldum?
Yeah, Wijnaldum's played quite a lot. Obviously, you got Millie, but he plays wherever. Millie plays wherever he gets told to play. But consistency, you'd have a Milner in there, and experience, but
11.
Maybe not in the top 11. I don't know. In an ideal world, I'd have Firmino as our cam and play Jota up top and have a front sort of four in a diamond. So but because that's not where he's played the whole season. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that and say I'd have him in the midfield.
No. I think that's just because you're scared about him not making a striker.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll say Wijnaldum. We'll give Wijnaldum the position.
So it's going to be Hendo and Wijnaldum as kind of holding midfielders, and Grealish as an
attacking. Attacking midfielder.
Okay, so left wing. I
don't think there's any argument there. Question. It's got to be Mane. His quality
right
is
wing,
class.
I think.
No argument. There's got to be Salah.
Whereas El Ghazi he's done alright the last few games. He's not up to the standard.
No.
And same with Bertrand Traore. He's coming into his own a bit more now. Now he's been in the Prem a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I say longer. It's been third of a season. But there's still no chance they're overtaking the Mane
and Salah. Yeah, they're on a different level. Obviously, we've not been firing all cylinders the last 3 games. I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully, Klopp will have a word and we'll sort ourselves out. And I know that obviously you've had really good games recently. El Ghazi's been on point. Traore's been really good.
El Ghazi's been nominated for Goal of the Month.
Yes,
against Crystal Palace.
I would fully agree. It was a quality strike.
Yeah.
And then we come to the striker / centre forward role. Obviously,
Which,
if Jota had stayed fit, even
Jota would get it.
yeah, like because he's been outstanding from what he's played.
Just for the goal scoring.
Yeah. However, it comes down to Firmino, who I've got to back him because as a Liverpool fan, and there's bias there, and I love him. I don't really have that many bad words to say about him, apart from he needs to score a little bit more. But
you can say the same thing about Watkins.
Yeah, again but I think if I got asked the question who would I prefer in my team, Watkins or Firmino, it'd still be Firmino. Although he's not performing as well as what he should potentially, I'd still have to say Firmino over Watkins. I know Watkins is young and needs to blossom, and I think he will come into his own and he will start bagging them. But I'd still
imagine Watkins around that front with Mane and Salah.
Yeah, no.
If he can do it in a Villa team, well, you can kind of do it in a Villa team.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're getting at, but I don't know. It's hard because normally, ask me a season and a half, 2 seasons ago, the question, and it would be Bobby hands down.
Watkins.
Yeah, well, but it would be who Samatta. It would be like anything like that.
Yeah.
So
who is Samatta? Where's he gone?
But now with Bobby not performing to I think his full potential, it's a bit of an and ah, but I would still take Bobby over Watkins.
I'd go with Ollie. I'd go with Ollie Watkins.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do? We need to come to a conclusion as to why and who.
Should we do it on goals scored against the other team?
Oh, here we go. He's whipping up the stats. Goals scored against the other team. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, we've only played once this season, and you know how that went.
Yeah, right. Fuck off.
How do we decide this?
I mean, it's got to be based on this season. So maybe if you just want to whip up the stats, and then we'll have to go on that because otherwise we're going to argue and argue and argue.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I cheer and scream the fucking roof down whenever Firmino scores now because it's once in a blue moon, unfortunately.
Which for a striker.
Yeah, it's not good enough.
Want?
Like I said, it's not good enough. But
so appearances. Watkins has made 15. Firmino has made 17.
Okay.
Watkins have got 6 goals. Firmino's got 5. Ollie's got 2 assists. Firmino's got 3.
Okay. So it's close. It's close. But then your argument as to put Watkins in the team with the service he'd get from Mane and Salah, etc. Does he do better than what Firmino's done? Quite possibly.
Well, shall we have a look at... So, goals per match. Watkins gets 0.4 of a goal every match.
Yeah.
225 minutes per goal. And whereas Firmino gets 0.2 goals per match and is a goal every 280 minutes.
They're both not good enough, may I just say. As strikers, it's both not good.
So in terms of shots on and off target, they have both had 17 shots on target this season.
Right.
Watkins has had 43 in total. Firmino's had 38.
Okay.
So that makes Firmino's shooting accuracy.
Higher. Yeah.
But then it makes.
But it doesn't matter unless they go in. So I mean.
Yeah.
Based on stats, we're going to have to give it to Watkins, which is.
So this is also interesting. Watkins has hit the woodwork 4 times.
Right.
Firmino's hit it twice. So it's both interesting to see what is happening with them both.
Yeah, very much so.
And Watkins has scored 5 big chances. Firmino scored 3. Watkins has missed 10 big chances. Firmino's missed 7.
Oh,
So it's
very tight. And like I said, it's not good enough for either of them. But I think just based on stats purely, and basically if we put them in each other's teams, who does better? Probably Watkins at this point.
Yeah.
So I think he'll have to grab the spot, regrettably.
It's also interesting though that if you look at their team play, Firmino does better in the team play, like with assists, biggest chance creators, like the amount of passes, pass completion, pass forward. He trumps Ollie in every single stat.
Yeah.
So it
depends what you're looking for. If we're just talking out and out striker, someone to bag you goals or to have that killer finish when it's needed. I mean, they both wouldn't make it into the team. You get someone else in, but
if we could have 12 players for Villa Liverpool,
can we
could have both of them.
Can we bin off Bobby and Watkins and just say Jota deserves to be in there for pre-injury?
No.
Oh, okay.
He can take up the spot on the medical table with half of your team.
Yeah, right. Fuck off. At least we haven't got COVID. Interesting one. Anyway, that's been today's roundup of the Villa Liverpool team, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure we'll have a little talk about it in our next video. We do a little recap. But yeah,
and comment what you think the score might be, and what this whole COVID outbreak has been, and if you think football should be playing at all.
Cheers for watching, guys.
See ya.
See you later.